Testing, waiting for broadcast to be published. Oh, this is new. I'm live. Welcome. Welcome to Amberskies. My name's Razor Sharp. People call me Blade. And today, let's just grab this thing. Yes, that's the microphone. Yes, Blades, thank you. Well done. Need a keyboard as well, don't we? And a mouse and things like that. Yeah, things that operate a computer. Computer. Yes, I'm a bit late today. Medication overload, I suppose. I don't know. Alrighty. Keyboard. Sneezy cats. Yes, we've got it all here. We've got it all. Absolutely. There we go. Let's just say hi's. There we go. Hello, people. Is this... Yeah, that's a mouse. Got a mouse. Right. I'm a bit dopey. What's new there? Where were we up to? Oh yes, I remember. Sort of. Not quite. Oh yes, me printing out the mouse position badly. Oh look. Oh, what? Oh, yeah. Nearly works. Yeah. What happened to my lighter? Anybody any ideas? So how did we fix it? But it works. Well, it was a simple inversion. All we had to do was invert the y-axis. So here at 250, where I am here now, on the y, we just need to flip it around that point, which is halfway up the screen. If you take the height of the window, divide it by 2, you've got that point. Then all you have to do is invert it around that point. And that is done by minusing the y value. Let's have a look at that in practice, shall we? In practice, that looks something like this. So, window height divided by 2, and then invert the mouse position. Yep, that's simple. Plus 25, what's that for? See if you can explain it. Probably won't give it me here. You can try. To the top of the window. Well, it's 32, isn't it? It's the inverse of whatever that is. I think it should be 32. And that should give us the center of the object at the center point on the screen. And it does. As you can see, it will still offset because of the angles involved. Now we've got that sorted out, we can get rid of that annoying printf. Oh, this lighting things isn't working. Give up on that. There's still another problem. And yeah, can we see what the problem is yet? Yeah. We need a variable top left. And... or start. Top left, top left. Yes, top and left. That's a good idea. Top and left. Because it's in our map file, but we're not reading our map file yet. And I'm hard setting these, aren't I? Yep. Oh well, we'll hard set them then for now. Or... and it's last point x, last point dot x is less than alright. Less than or equal to m underscore, I've already got it in here. Terrain, get position. Interestingly enough. And then of course we have to OR that with the y. Dot z. Yeah, that'll still work. For now. Needs a rethink on that. M underscore terrain. And Muppets claimed my left arm already. And terrain. Get position. Z. Dot Z. There we go. And that should stop it messing up at the top left hand corner. Because it doesn't mess up there, it doesn't mess up there. Oh right, yeah, that's pretty close. That's not too bad actually. That is closer than I was going to be expecting. Wow, that's really good. We're about, yeah, it is, it's halfway. The box. So the box needs to be divided by a number. Or the location that we get needs to be divided by a number and then placed at the correct point. This is not a cursor at the moment, this is just a moving object. Or an object that follows the mouse. Well, cursors don't follow the mouse. Yeah. So, let's see what we can do about that. Printf, goodbye. Had enough of you. So it's the width of the screen. Yeah. Width of the screen. And what do we have? We do have width. We have it here. There's two ways of looking at this. We could modify the final or modify the start. Everything's telling me to modify the final. Yeah. So what we're looking to do really is reposition to the closest 1m square. Is it 1 meter? Yes, it's 1 meter square, isn't it? It's 50 by 50. We could just return a static cast to an int. No, we can't. This is going to upset the compiler. Upset it no end, because the answer is just to integerize. What you would do is m underscore, we'll try it anyway for the x and y direction, like the x and the z direction. Current cursor. Oh. Set x to m underscore current cursor dot x. Do something like that. We could try this and see if it'll allow us to do it without complaining too much, because it's what I want to do. It should then move weirdly. It's allowing me to do it. But you can now see that the movement looks very strange. And the scale of the cursor is wrong. That's a 2 meter by 2 meter block. Okay. Starting to look good. I'm just thinking how to do this without cheating. Because we shouldn't put anything in here. Oh, let's see what I'm allowed to do here. Oh, wait a minute. This could be interesting. I don't know what we've got in here. Let's have a look. Set. Scale. To 0.5 float. Yay. Let's see if that helps us. It might just... Going to Z fighting. Oops. I rather think you did the wrong one. Yikesy. Right. That's what happens when you do it wrong. And you're half asleep. Oh, it wouldn't be a Blade show if you didn't go wrong. How to really upset Microsoft. Well, at least know how to upset them now. Yeah, it's flicking around properly. Wow. I think we've done it. We don't seem to be able to get to the bottom corner though. Hmm. Oh, it's because it's a half. It's plus a half. Plus 0.5. Is it in both directions at plus 0.5? I think it is. Yes, it is. Just see it now. Is it? I think it is, yes. That's the reason for it. How many brackets have we got here? That's your static cast. So now we can plus 0.5. 0.5f. In both directions, and that's it. I think that gives us a cursor. I do believe. Yeah, it does. We've got a cursor. Wow. I'm just wondering if we could display this map texture better so we could actually see the mesh. Would that just be too confusing? That's working. It does look funny as it wiggles. Yeah, that's right. That's in meters, that's single meters. That's perfect. Magic. There we go, Muppet, you see? It's that easy. Yeah, we've done it. And it's working nicely. The Y value. See, what I also was thinking of doing is this. Well, probably will do it anyway. Current cursor. We can set the Y value. And that would be to m_current. Current cursor dot y. We can just take it down by 0.4 f. It is the half the box is still sticking up, as it were, at the moment, and I want a cursor, not a box, or anything that looks like a box. See if that looks better. Yes, that's better. There we go. We've now got a square, a red square. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, why use a red square? Well, it isn't, it's an RGB box. And if you are hovering in a place where you can't place anything, you probably want it to be red. So where was the RG? But if you want it in a GB, probably go blue. You can place an object there. But yeah, I'm starting to like this. This is looking a lot better. Hell of a lot better. Alright. I've messed around with this enough, I think. Right, you can turn the box, basically. 90 degrees one way or the other, and it will change colour. That needs testing. So, red cursor is what it starts as, but you can change the colour of the cursor now by having different colours on each side of the box, and that's so much easier than messing around with a lot of things, like what do you call it, animation. Okay, we've got a 3D cursor. What can we do with it? We can give you that code. So there's your basic 3D cursor. And it's really just implementing it in whichever way you want. How you want to implement your 3D graphical user interface now is totally up to you. You have the freedom to do anything you want. Have I got Steam on here? I'll show you what I mean. For instance, Steam. God knows why I got Steam on here. I can't play games on this machine. Not good enough. It'd take about 2 years to load a game. These days. It's going to take long enough just to load Steam. Well, I will attempt to show you on here. Assuming that Steam can actually load. Bit of advertising. Okay, there's a little button on Steam here called Big Picture Mode. I'm going to click it. Now, this is one way that you could do your interface. But I see that as taking up real estate. I'm not sure. That's not really a good way of doing it on here. To show you what I mean. These aren't going across, they're just going randomly all over the place, aren't they? But you can see how these pop out of the screen. Like a popping out idea. You can also have these going across that go on a carousel. You could use a carousel idea. If you were to place in like cheese bits slightly around these and make them into a carousel, you could spin the carousel. There's a few things that you can do, which is interesting there. But what you're really doing there is taking something that's 2D and making it 3D. How do we get out of this thing? There we go. Another idea is to make it part of what you're displaying. How do I explain that one? That's a very interesting idea. How do I explain that? Yes, thank you, QVector. I know that I did something wrong. At least I admit it. There we go. Let's just move this a minute. Keyboard over there. We have a pen and a pad here. So let's look at what we've got first of all, which is something like a square like that. What you may want to do is put a GUI in 3D lying down the side of your square. Or down this side, or down this side, or down this side, or you could have a block of models stacked on top of each other with a triangle to click and a triangle to click. You can have it going that way, or of course you could have it going that way. There are many different ways you could do a graphical user interface. In fact, there are so many different ways of doing a graphical user interface, I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's anything that you people might want. Are there ideas here that you've never even considered before? Because there are for me. There's a lot of ideas that I haven't even considered before. Let's have a think about that one there. What I could do is make one comes out of there, giving options. So I could do it that way. I like the idea of having one at the top, but you might want to continue in that direction. And continuing in that direction and that direction with the map are easier than they are continuing in that direction. Because we also have our map shape to map type. We've got to put at the bottom. Do we want to scroll the screen? Not really. Not unless the user asks us to using the keyboard. So I'm happy with the keyboard and mouse controls the way they are for a model maker, not for a game, but for a model maker. But ironically, we've done a piece of code here that does something else. This same code also allows us to know what is at 90 degrees to our camera facing at all times. It lets us know the Z-axis of our camera at any one time. Nobody noticed? So there's an off spin here that we could implement. So what we have now done in our code, get rid of some of this. What we've done in our code, in effect, is we have created a ray. And what is our ray? If this pen works. Yeah, that colour please. Our ray equals the camera Z vector. Isn't that interesting, don't you think? We're using in for straightforward. So we actually know, or using this ray, if we wanted to get this ray, that would be very useful for a game, maybe? Being able to move the camera? This would be very useful in camera rotation. Because from what axis do you want to rotate your camera? That's a difficult one. Because you don't know what axis your camera is on. Unless you're keeping track of it, of course, and we're keeping track of it all the time. We do this every update. So we know which way our camera is facing at all times. That's rather interesting. So the last thing I want to put on mouse picker here oh, we have it there. That isn't get current ray, that's... Oh yes it is, return current ray. We've already got it, we've already done it. I was going to say that's what we wanted to do as well. So that we could take our ray as cast, which is now looking at the center of something. Actually an offset, isn't there, in there? Yeah, that's fine. We've got offsets. Let me just check that we can get a clean. The offsets are plus 0.5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's not clean though, is it? That's clipped. I don't really want it doing there. Let's be honest. I want to keep that as a pure ray. I'm using the wrong keyboard now. Get your keyboard. Come on, bloods. Too many keyboards knocking around here. So yeah, we'll do that there, but back in our model warehouse, we can do the calculation here instead. La 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 la. Starting to enjoy this. What are you doing, Muppet? Now we have a pure ray coming back. That's better. That's a lot better. So we haven't polluted the code for the cursor position, because the cursor position in this case actually, well, it doesn't really matter now, does it? So mouse picker can be used on the camera. Well, we update it there, and we make it there. Right, what we would have to do then is do a camera update. We'd have to now start thinking about a camera update. And we do one somewhere. Or are we just leaving it to its own devices? We are just leaving it to its own devices, aren't we? Yes, we are. What is this move camera business? Move camera, move camera. Let's have a close look at the camera whilst I've got it in, whilst I'm thinking about it, because it's an offshoot, but it's a decent one. We have an increased rotation, don't we? So it can be added there. So it's this one here, the rotation. Lovely. At the moment, it doesn't rotate properly. In fact, I don't think it rotates at all, because we didn't have the code for it. Yeah. No, we didn't have the code for it, did we? We have a clamp rotation going on here. Well, we don't need that anymore. Can we gimbal lock using this technique? That's the x-axis. Yaw is the y-axis. And roll is the z-axis. We know we can definitely find the z-axis of the camera now to rotate about that properly. The x-axis would be perpendicular to the z-axis on the y-plane. Chicken and egg situation, how to calculate these two. Depends which way is up. You first of all got to decide which way is up. And you can't take 2 points and just say, oh, follow that line, because that's not the right way of doing it. And we haven't got the z-axis. No, my bad. We only have the z-axis if that is at center, or 0, 0. So if that is literally there, that is the z-axis. If it's there, it isn't. It's an angle off the z-axis. Oh, that's just spoiled that idea. Oh well. But it does, we still have the calculation for it. We have the calculation for it. It's just how to bring it out of here. All we do is remove the mouse position off it. That's easy as a mouse position. And this doesn't. This uses the camera. It's in the camera view matrix. It's this calculation here. What do we use for projection space? A Q vector 4D. 1, 1, 1. Convert to view space. No, convert to model space. What I'm looking for. We can use that function, but with an x and y of 1. Hold on a minute, no. No, the x and y are the camera. Needs more thought. I think it's 1. We'll see how that pans out. Just thinking of calculations to use for the camera later on. This rotation's rubbish. Doesn't work. Shame. True. I only put it in so that it was completed, I suppose, in a simplistic way. And I do like making rubbish code, so that suits me. What is the next step? The next step is to make models, and to make models we need Blender. Making models is not something I wish to do on stream, because this is not a Blender tutorial, and because I know nothing about Blender. Let's be honest. So what comes after that then? Picking and then moving and placing a model. Left mouse click comes after that. When the left mouse is clicked, we either pick up or put down a model. I think that's going to be easy enough. Yeah. Because all we're really doing is picking up or putting down an index to a model and the type of model. But at this point we have to look at the types of these models, don't we? We've still got two types. And they are vectors. Fair enough. Knowing if we've got something picked is easy. That's bool. That's true or false. I feel as though we've got a lot of bools in play here. What do you lot think? If I was to go to, say, Model Warehouse H, and for instance, I was to start doing something like maybe struct, and we would call it model picker. Why am I in mouse picker H? Oh. That's better. Because we called it mouse picker, didn't we? In the GUI. Yeah. So what we can say is past tense here. I don't like using past tense. Model selection. Yeah, we can do that. We can use that as a struct, I think. That's a nice way of doing it. There you go. Right, so what bools do we have? Bool is textured. Tool. Model selected. Yes, rotation X. That's right. We should be able to rotate it. And we do have a clamp for that. Somewhere. In the maths. Okay. So there's that to consider. We could allow for scale. Are we recording the scale of anything? Or is that enough? Silly me. So that would be default equals the cursor. Okay. Which is handy. So if we haven't got a model selected, then we get the cursor. Yeah, but we've got a true or false, so no, we want the cursor. Oh yes, I remember how this works now. Yeah, that's okay, that's fine. So there you go. That's all we really needed, I think. Well, for now anyway. Model selection M underscore model select. Lovely. So if we click on a model, we can now select it. We're going to need a model to select though. A test model. What have we got? go back to our world builder and find out which models we have available to us. We have a plain mesh 50 by 50, a box which is RGB. Let's have a dice. I think we've got a dice. Yes, we've got a dice. I'll do. So the first thing we have to do is to be able to select it. Okay, so where are we going to put this dice? We would have to place it on a menu. And that has to be its own thing. We can't carry on shoving things into Model Warehouse. Well, we can for now, but not forever, because a lot of this stuff in Model Warehouse has to be changed already, because we're not recording everything about the models, and there's a bit more to do. There's a lot more to do, obviously. There's a few weeks' work to do there. For extending it to all the model capabilities. We haven't even put in whether it's glass or not. For instance, we can't use a glass model. So, how can we do this? That's going to be useful. I would like to use the mouse ray that we already have and just pass it to a function that has a menu. Or that operates a menu. And then you can write any kind of menu you want. And or you could have menu types. You could have menu type 1, menu type 2. Yeah. Yeah, that's a better way of doing it, I think. Let's do it here. New item. We'll add a header file. We'll call it menu 1. Because that's good. There we go, menu 1. You now exist. So it's exactly the same as doing the 2D menu. Oops. Go away. Menu 1. Alrighty. Looking good. We're looking good. Get a header for it. Today is the 16th of May. I hope. If it isn't, I'm in trouble. Ah, that dog's nice next door. It's having a nice little yappity yap. I love it to pieces. It's nice to hear animals enjoying themselves and not sneezing. What do you think, Muppet? Can you bark like a dog? No, we're not going to say the joke about how do you make a cat go woof. Alright. Not nice. I get shouted at for things like that. La, 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 la. There we go. And let's start setting a menu up. That's what the GUI's all about. The menu is not going to be massive, shall we say. And it's not going to hold any models. It's just going to be a selection system. That's all it's going to do. In fact, it may become so simple that we can possibly move it somewhere else or do something else with it. So let's see how it goes. First of all, before we start deciding, are we going to have them or not as a separate class? And it's just going to be menu 1. What's it done to me? Can't see. Thank you. Oh, that's because we're on the bottom of the screen. There you go. Menu 1, semicolon. Thank you. Might be a very, 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 very simple storage class. What this is going to do is hold a list of numbers. Let's say 1 to 10. For now. Arbitrary list of numbers. So let's see. Num items equals 10. How do we can't have an array, can we? Maybe. Is this legal? No. It isn't legal. Alright, that is. Do I need to initialize it? Really? The answer is yes. Yeah, okay. Void initialize menu 1. With max items. Yeah. Something like that. We could save ourselves an initialization here. I don't think it's required. Because it's obvious. Okay, yes, we can do that. Right, let's start setting this up properly now. So, what did we have? We had m_items. Can be initially set to 0. It's not going to let us do it, is it? No, it won't let us do that. Oh, lovely. We'll do it that way. m_items and num_items equals. Initialize it all to 0. Okay. I'm just wondering whether to make this a 2-dimensional array. And have item type. It's this color and texture thing. We could have a menu for each, couldn't we? Yeah, just make it simple. Just make it simple. What's wrong with you? Right, okay, yes. That's a good point. Thank you for reminding me. Well done. Well, now it's just lying to me. You change something here and it doesn't understand. Okay. You know, take your time over it, Microsoft. Why don't you? Right. So all we need is set and get. That's it. As stupid as it sounds, a simple menu is literally setting what's held in there and getting what's held in there. And that's all there is to it. We could make it a damn sight more complicated and heavy lifting though in future. So, okay. So let's have get menu item. Yeah. At an index. And all that's going to do is return underscore. I mean, this is nowhere near a menu that I would like to use. Underscore items. And it's just your index. And that's it. This will return an int. Next, we would set a menu item to something or other. Int ID. Yep, that'll do nicely. And what we would do there is just put underscore. Underscore items. So it's nothing sparkling going on here at this point. So menu position. But you can see already how it's going to change. Because 0 and 9 we could specify to be special ones. Yeah, we can. Menu position, blah, 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 equals ID. That'll do for now. That'll do for now. That is the simplest, useless, most useless class I could make. If you ever make a class like that, just don't do it. It's not really much point when you think about it. Because all you're doing is using a single array. So, yeah. Why are we storing it like this? Because it's going to become more complicated as we go. Right, I need to know the position of the first item. I need a vector 3D. So we can set our vector 3D. Alright, this is why we actually need it as a class. So hash include, and we'll have qvector3d. And what we're going to do is we are going to have a qvector3d m underscore top left. Top left? Menu location. That's better. What's wrong with qvector3d? I can see quite a bit wrong with that. So yeah, where are we gonna locate it? Good question. I will put it up in above the top. So here, is it still got this thing going? We haven't got an index of 10. Off with that kind of thing. I am going to put m underscore menu location is equal to a q vector 3D, and we are going to put it at x y z. Looks good enough for me. Do we use getters and setters for this? You should do, really. But I don't like getters and setters, and we know we don't. It won't do that for me now, will it? Or will it? Hold on a minute. Why was it No, it is legal. I thought it was legal. Why make it more complicated than it already isn't? That's num item. Oh no, it isn't. That's 3D. Nah, I don't like doing it this way. We will keep the CPP file. Because I've got a horrible feeling this will become a class. But for now I just don't see why. Why should I bother having it as a class? Okay. Right. We've got a menu. Well, a very simplistic idea of a menu, but it's a menu all the same. How are we going to operate our GUI? We need to send information to our GUI. And all we need to know back from it is very little information. Right, well the first thing is model warehouse U. You've got a struct here. That's part of the GUI. That's got nothing to do with being a model warehouse. Got everything to do with being part of a menu system. And as I said the words, it came to me now. Menu system. .h. We are dealing no longer with you. Okay. That sounds a bit better. You're still snuzzling, Muppet. Oh, please don't sneeze. No fun for me when you sneeze. I will put you here. Model selection should be part of the GUI. Really? Okay. let's do that then. This is just basic settings ups. Oh, hesitation. Plenty of hesitations today, yes. I will be. Okay. That's that done. Oh. Very badly spelt. Menu system. Yeah, thank you. There you go. And that will be menu system again. There we go. Lovely. This menu system has to include, obviously, menu 1.h. And can include menu 2, 3, 4, 5, as many different types of menu as you wish. What I'm thinking then is just keeping, again, a struct going. For now. Is that what that seems to be what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah. I've already done it. It's just, this thing is a little bit tad slow on the uptake sometimes. I do, so am I, so I don't mind. Ah, good, right. Interesting language. Don't even know what language that is. Oh, go on. From Kazakhstan, is that? I don't know. There you go. Whatever, yes, hello. Interesting. Hello to people in chat. Yeah, that looks okay. I think we've now got to the stage where we have the infrastructure for a menu system. All the menu system has to answer is one thing, and that is which model is attached. Okay. So I do need to think about this a lot more than I have done so far. and see. That didn't quite work out for us, did it? No, it didn't. So it's true, but not quite that true. Right. What can we do? Clean up a little bit of space. That's what we can do for starters. Right. Menu systems in 3D. Yeah, should we bring in a fourth dimension? We could if we wanted to. So if we've got a menu system in 3D, basically what we have is just a straightforward 2D menu. It's nothing stupendously different. We just have a block on here. Okay. This is all well. In there. So ID. Type thing. What we need to do is when we hover over a menu item, we have to calculate, or when we are doing our raycasting, we also have to calculate or pass back. We have to go outside the box. We have to let our cursor out. Okay. So enable cursor. That's something we have to think of. We then have to get a vector back, which is inside one of these items. So check our mouse pos. And really from there, all we're looking at is calculating whether or not calculate and return model selected. And that's it. I mean, there's no rocket science to this. So all we need now is a function to pass in the mouse position. Okay, let's do that. I think... Ah, right, we haven't got it in yet, have we? We don't need it here now. I mean, there's no real rocket science in any of this, I must admit, but at the same time, it's not good that we've got all of this in here. But hey-ho, such is life. It will be reduced over time. Amber 3D GUI underscore 3D. And all I want now is menu system. So we've got the mouse picker and the menu system. We could make it part of the menu system, but then that overcomplicates things on the reverse. So I prefer the mouse picker to do the mouse picker's job and the menu system to do the menu's job. I don't want those two mixing functionality at all. So we can have a menu system now, can't we? Yes, we can. What did I just call that? Okay. GUI 3D. Menu system, please. Is this going to be big? It could turn out to be something large. Okay. Underscore menu system. The easiest way of putting that. I don't want it there though. Okay, let's have a look what we've got in here now. Yep, that's okay. Underscore menu system equals a new GUI 3D menu system, open brackets, nothing. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just wondering if this model selection struct is... Yes, we do need the model selection struct. Yeah. Otherwise, we're never going to get enough information together. Okay. Menu system, we've got it. So when we get to this stage down here of doing the current position, we can not, yes, we can. I'm just thinking that repositioning to the 1 meter square could be useful, so we'll keep that. Setting the cursor. Okay, so if Z. No, can't. I don't want to put any if statements in here, because aren't we in the middle of a rendering here? Yes, we are. I've already got 2 for loops. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Have we got any input in here? No, we haven't. Okay, we have no input in here. So what I was just thinking is the simplest way here is just to hash include what can we have? We can have that. We could take in input. We are allowed to do this, I hope. We will check. We will check. We will check if we are allowed to do this, don't worry. Right. If input is part of which code? No code. It's just input. If input button pressed is Qt mouse button. So what's the left mouse button? Maybe that one? Yeah. That's the one. Equals that. So if on the input the button is pressed, if I'm going to do an else, and I'm going to take some code out. So only one of these actions can happen. You show the cursor only when the button is not pressed. Easy to check. Very easy to check. We just run the program. That's a visual indication whether it's working or not. So there's our cursor. Left click. Well, it certainly leaves it alone. But it doesn't stop it from being there. Of course it doesn't. All it does is it stops its cursor position being tracked. Okay. It's just repeating the same code in both. What's the point? The point is we can change it. Fair enough. What I'm going to do here is just use a trick, not a final solution. So a hack, if you like. Let's take our cursor. Right. No, what am I doing? You don't need to do that. Set the cursor position to... Let's bring you out, because you're now more complicated. You are now a Q vector 3D. And it's cursor position dot X, comma, cursor position dot Y, just as a silly thing to do, and cursor position Z. A bit like that. Now will it disappear? Hopefully, it'll go underground. All I've asked it to do really is just go underground, and there you go, it's gone underground. You can see it down below there. Ironically. So yeah, you can see how it jumps up and down. That's interesting. Yeah, okay. I'll think about that some other time. But yeah, you can see I can make it jump up and down anyway, just by setting its Y position to whatever. Just trying to remember, to be quite honest with you, we don't need it to go so far, because I've just realised that the model that we are using for our base here actually has depth. So you can't see it. So it's hidden within the model itself. There is another line going across there. You might be able to see if you've got your gamma turned up or your brightness turned up or whatever. Right. So that's the first thing. The other alteration I want to make is we have our cursor working, don't we? We don't need our test cursor anymore. I think that's true. So can we get rid of that? Where do we set our test cursor? There. Ah. No, I'm going to keep it. I've just realised. Alright. For now, I'm going to keep within boundaries. I've decided I'm going to keep within boundaries. Because I want to know how accurate I can get it to a mouse click using what we have already decided upon. I need to pass that cursor, so yeah. Yeah. So first of all, switch off the cursor. That line is repeated. Not required there. May as well pop it there for now. Doesn't really matter where it goes, as long as it goes before or after the if statement, it doesn't really matter which. Yeah, I'll leave it as that. Right, what do we got? Thinking time. So, it's a bit of a hack, but it works. A working hack, and it actually could work in the final, but it needs to be rethought, to be quite honest with you. And the fact that I've had to explain what it does means it needs to be rethought. What the idea of what it does is. It also needs tidying up that line. Yeah. Okay, put your thinking caps on, peeps. How shall we structure this? We can place our dice anywhere we want. Right, we're going to take our dice model, which is color model 2. Sorry, color model 1, color entity 1. That I already know. Because I know it's going to put it there automatically. Even though it's in a completely different program miles down the page. So I've specified I wanted it to load the dice. I know it's automatically going to place into color entities 1. So we need to initialize this somehow. So as usual, we're just going to pick on one color or texture. And we're going to start with color because that's the one I've chosen by accident. It's just random the way I do this. Because I'm a researcher. I'm R&D, research and development, so I research an idea and I develop it. I don't normally do full programs. I would take an idea, like a 3D model system, and all I would have is this here, the GUI 3D part. I wouldn't be working with the model warehouse part. I'd just be working on that, and then designing an API, saying I want this, that, and the other. I certainly don't want models being passed around, I just want IDs. And the ID is color entity 1. Now, we have two thoughts here. One, to pass all the color models over, including the RGB box, by the way, you would have to iterate through all the color entities. A bit like a for next loop like this, for instance. Muppet, you're about to sneeze, aren't you? Do we do it here, or do we do it in a setup? We could utilise the for loop we've already got, but we may have more than 8 models, or however many models we choose. We might only choose to do 4 from colour and 4 from texture at a time. I did it just to save space initially, but later on maybe not. Maybe just do it more linear. Less complicated. Let's do it less complicated. Let's set it up properly. So under Initialize Model Warehouse, we already have load files. So as soon as we've loaded our files, we can go on to set up the menu system. I'm going to hold these separately, aren't I? Yes, I am. So we already know we've got colour and texture. So we're going to have a colour menu. M_C. And we are going to have a texture menu. So we are going to have 2 different types. So that's just going to be menu 1. I'm not happy with this. Easier way of doing it. Don't need this line now. Enum. Model type. I don't normally use these actually. Color. And texture. And texture model. Okay, you'll do. So that gives us a 0 and a 1 for our menu. We'll only be using colour model to start off with. So we can set up 2 menus. And we are going to ask, what's wrong here? Semicolon missing, yes there is. Because I hadn't finished it. Int max color models. Int max texture models. And we should store those. Which means, really, we could set them up in... no. No. Max color models. Int m_max texture models, because that shouldn't change much during the course, but it could do during the course of, well, we are going to be able to add and remove models as well from this menu system, and we also have to be able to load models on the fly to be added and deleted from the lists. So the IDs can change. Well, the IDs won't really matter here as much, I hope. Okay. So we can set that up. No idea how that's going to work yet, but we'll find out. Why is there a problem with that bracket? No default constructor exists for class Amber 3D GUI 3D menu 1. Pardon? You're right. I knew that was going to be silly of me. Forget that. That'll do. And you can stop your complaining, please. Yes, you are still right. Oh, I see what you're on about now. Alright, we're just going to have to put equal to... Hold on a minute, no. We don't want it to do that. Okay. Void set max items. I want it separated off. So we have Yes, we just have one int max items. And all we're going to do there is put m_max items. Told you it was going to be a simple storage class equals max items. Treat it like one until it's not. Alright, that's a bit better. Okay, that's better. I'm happier now. Menu 1 done. Menu system, let's get on with it. Don't need that anymore. Why are we not allowed to do that? Expected an expression. What? No, you don't. I don't know what the hell it's talking about half the time, this thing. It's certainly not talking about C++. Yeah, let's have a look at this now. So when we do that, we can set the maxes. And it's going to be 1, 2. Yes. So m_menu. 0. Let's make it read English. We can dot that. And that's going to be max color. You can see how this is going now, can't we? Color models. m_menu. Max texture models. Right, so we've fed that through. We also need to give them values. We need to set the IDs for each of these values. And it has to start at 1 because 0 is pre-used. 0 on textures is the terrain, and 0 on colors is the cursor. That's handy. Da-ba-da-ba-dum-dum. 4. We need a way of doing it first of all. So we need to set the identifications up on menu. Let's call it menu 1. Yeah, why not? I'm just wondering whether we could do it in here. We can if we put... Yeah, we get rid of that. I'm going to do it in here. I'm going to make this do some work. Oh my god. They'll never, never forgive us. So we'll start it off as we did before. And then we will just put the IDs in. Which will start at an obvious default. So, am I allowed a uint yet? No, probably not. Int. Who cares? Int index. No, ID. ID equals 1 for once. Whilst ID is less than or equals to... Oh, Muppet. Verbals, sneezing... I don't know. Max items. And ID++. And then all we've got to do is... M underscore items. I'm not splitting this down, am I? Ah, never mind. ID, I'm doing this as simple as I possibly can, equals ID. And that's the whole idea to this part of research and development, is you do everything in the most simplest way you can. We've entered a value of max items, but we haven't checked that it's sane. If... Yeah, this check should not be here. If max, just for now, max, to make sure that we don't completely goober ourselves up. Num items. Then obviously max items. We're clamping it at the moment. It's not a check, it's a clamp. If max items is greater than num items possible, max items equals num item. Just making a sanity check on that. And that sets up the IDs. Magic. So our menu sets itself up. We don't have any knowledge about that. All we're doing is saying color models, that's how many we've got. Texture models, that's how many we've got. And we're just saying, well, you can't have more than 9 in this menu. Go someplace else. Yeah. Everything's reading properly and that. Mac color models. What? Right, okay. It's getting a bit naughty at us now, is it? So it's max m underscore max color models can start at 0, comma m underscore max texture models can start at 0. Okay, that'll stop it being naughty at me, I hope. One day maybe the green squigglies will go away. Thank you, green squigglies, for going away. So we now have a self-setting menu. Right, so we're dealing with color models first. So I want to check we could put all the if statements inside here, but that's just hiding them away. Do we do 2 checks, or do we take into consideration which of these menus we are accessing? Or can we have 2 menus being displayed on the screen at once? Interesting. So we need a Q vector. Usually use one of these. And it's the nearest 1 meter, isn't it? That's actually going to help us. Oops. Forgotten something. Helps you delete it after you finish with it. I'll deal with you in a minute or 2. I'm going to check the menus there. That's looking okay. And 3D menu system. There. After we've got... Well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're only just using IDs. We're inferring, or we're trying to infer that each of the models has an ID. Whether it does or not is a completely different idea. Okay. That now has to be... different. That has to be different. alter these to place into menu positions. NB ID 0 equals cursor. That didn't work too well. And ID 0 equals terrain. So that is color. And that is texture. Right. So we always want those two, always, but that number there and that number there are two totally different things. For testing purposes, it's going to be 1, but we don't have another textured model. That would cause a crash. I want to get away from this instance equals what 0 thingy. Yes, you could do as well. Add map models here to the batch renderer, because it's an empty map at the moment, so we're not doing any. That's obvious. That means we have to have a way of storing the map. Yeah, I write most of my programs in English. I'll use the language that is given. Yeah. I think that's about as far as we are. Okay, so what have we got so far? We've got... Hopefully everything works. I don't know why it keeps doing this warning. I have no idea. Might try and sort that out. So yeah, we've got everything here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put... Oh, the dice has already turned up. Oi you matey, you're not supposed to be here yet, but I suppose I did ask you to do that. Yeah, so you can see how it's self-modifying. So that needs to be placed in position 1 here. Okay. That's going to be quite... Actually, it's in position quite well. That's rather good. it's working. Damn it, it's working. I hate things when they work. I've got nothing to do. My job's done if... I mean, I'm out of a job if they work. No cursor. Cursor. Left click. No cursor. And if you're wondering, yeah, you can have a bigger view. There you go. No cursor. Cursor. It all scales to the correct size. Yep, it's all automatic. All of this that you are seeing on screen right now, thank you, Muppet, is automatic. Yes, I agree. I think you should sneeze. And I think that's wonderful, that. Yeah, thank you, Muppet. So yeah, that's a 2x2x2 model of a dice. A 2 meter cubed. Okay. That is something that we're going to have to think about, is scale. All our models will have to be scaled down to 2 meters by 2 meters. At least. But I'm liking this. I am liking this a lot. Escape closes the window, by the way. Okay. Foundation for a 3D menu. Complete. Not tested. That's the actual thing I was trying to think of there. Not tested. That's the way I do it. Okay. Let's sync ourselves up. And if you're new to the channel, I will just run through how you can access this code. Okay. And if you're new to this channel, pop over to Twitch, type in, without any spaces, Fraser Blades Sharp, or one word. Go to my channel and subscribe. There's a bit of fun on there tomorrow as well. I'm going Sunday sailing tomorrow. That's my fun side. That subscriptions over on Twitch, by the way, will support Amberskies here in the research. Yeah, very funny. No, it's not a bad gateway at all. So yeah, on www.amberskies.org.uk, we are giving this away free, but if you subscribe, you are going to be able to allow us to afford models. Because as you know already, I can't do 3D models for the life of me. I had to do that dice, that took a day. Yeah. We are currently working in here, Amber 3D SL. In Amber 3D, you will find the code for today. Is not here. Why is it not here? Because that's the master branch. And we are on the development branch. So development branch, Amber 3D. Here we go. And there's your GUI, 3D, foundation for a 3D menu completed, not tested. All the code is now quite happily sitting in here with input menu. You don't have to do any typing, isn't that nice? And it just gives you ideas. I'm trying to give people ideas on how to do this rather than just saying this is the way it's done. Because I've got sick to the back teeth of programmers saying, oh, you do it this way. No, you don't. You do it how the damn well you please. However you want to do it, you do it that way. It may be a good way of doing it, it may be a bad way of doing it. If it works, you did it. Can you improve that in the future? Of course you can. Why aim for perfection when You can improve later. That's the beauty of programming. Remember that. Professional programmers don't. So please try and remember that. There we go. I'm going to leave you with that code to play with. At least I'm leaving you with proper code today. It's Saturday, as I normally try and do on a Saturday. I want to leave you with proper code before I mess it up. And if I continue with this menu system, I'm about to mess it up. So I think I'd like to do that on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll do this. I'll do that on Tuesday. I'll mess it up on Tuesday. How about that? And you can watch me mess up. Yeah, we're on Saturday. So Tuesday, we're back here sometime in the afternoon. And I want to try and next Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, I want to have this menu system wrapped up in a basic form. I hope to do that by the end of next week so we can get on with things. And we'll have a menu system. And we are going to build a very simple world. Store the world as a map and learn how to load that into a game. Awesome. 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 It don't get much better than that. To be quite honest with you, the world builder itself is possibly completed to most of the things. But what we have to do now is the world builder has to build that map. So every time we select to place something in our world, we are going to have to let the world builder know somehow. And yeah, we've got structure already set up for that. So I've preempted that a little bit. In the meantime, I would like you to take care. I'll show you my Twitch channel actually, by the way. This will be tomorrow, Wednesday and Fridays. Is my Twitch channel. Hello again. So you'll find me on Twitch TV /FraserBladeSharp, and this is me. I do silly things with games. Tomorrow is Sunday Sailing. And it's PvP day, so it's going to be interesting to see whether I can keep up with the PvP. I'm doing tanks on Wednesday instead of planes, so enjoy. And enjoy your week. And pop over to Twitch tomorrow. You never know, you might have a chuckle. I know I will. Enable cursor, check mouse position, calc and return. Yeah, okay. Got it. Done. Where's the buttons for this? Oh, it's on the other keyboard. Right. Take care.